The Dunu Kima 2. Let's talk about it. Now, this is a single dynamic driver that to me is a special one. I really like this. Looking at a graph, I would not expect I would have liked this IM, but I am absolutely enamored with this IM and find it to be a really fantastic little set. It's green. This is the special Kryn edition, Kryn's Nation, which I have no idea what it means. If you know, let me know in the comments below. But I know as of the timing of this video, filming of this video, there's only about 25 of these left. So if you're interested in the green, maybe, reach out, buy it now. And I hope that they do another set of these or another run of these in the future, because I really like this color and flair of this design, and I think it's unique. So not all the Dunu Kimas are going to come in this beautiful green. Let's get that out of the way. And now let's start talking about the build and comfort of this beautiful IM. Now, the design of this IM is pretty fantastic. It fits in ear really well. It has a nice metallic shell with a recessed 2-pin cable connector. I like the gold on the nozzle. I like the green shell. I feel it's just really vibrant and really pretty and unique in my collection, with a collection of mainly metallic shells. So I think this makes that mirrored finish on this super beautiful and unique. Now, it is a small shell, not too hard to hold in hand, and it is a beautiful looking shell with a nice fun design. It fits in my ear extremely well and it looks good. I think this is a nice little set, and I have no problem with the build or comfort of this Kryn's Nation IEM. This has ludicrous amount of tips. It has IEM booties. It has 4 sets of tips. It has a shirt clench holder and also has a cleaning tool. The cable is also nice. You can swap out a 4.4 or 3.5. It feels nice in hand, and swapping this cable is almost, I don't know, it takes like 10 seconds, which is a huge thing to be able to cable swap. And again, this cable feels nice in hand. It has a nice chin slider you can see here. Its Y split is also nice. It has like a flat 2-pin cable connector terminal with a slight recession to it, with easy to read right and left terminations on it. Nice solid cable, and this is reminiscent of other cables that Dunu has coming out. Now, it also has this kind of cup style leathery pouch. I've never had one of these before. I've only seen them before, and this is a fantastic case and one of my new favorite cases. It feels great in hand and it's easy to use. I love this case. It's fantastic. So overall sound of this presentation of this IEM, it is sometimes a little bit lean in the bass, but the upper mids and the extension and details on this IEM are a really nice surprise at this price. It fits good, it looks good, it has impeccable packaging where like you feel like the packaging is almost worth the price of the IEM, and then you get these gorgeous IEMs with it to boot. Let's look at some graphs and then we'll kind of go from there. Okay, we look at the graph of the Dunu Kima. You'll notice quite a few things. It's a nice looking graph. It does have quite a bit lean bass, but it has nice even kill to mid, like lower mid range, nice upper mid range, so things sound very good in ear. It has a nice musical presentation with having sometimes problems with having a little bit low bass on certain sources and certain tips. Sometimes you have to swap things out or having some minor issues, but overall it just has a really nice, clean, even sounding IEM, and it has a really nice feeling to this IEM, and I really like it a great deal. Let's compare this versus a few other things and talk about sound overall. Now, I wanted to show this. This is Mark's graph from Super Reviews. I don't have the original Kima graph. I did have one and I just didn't really like it, so I ended up selling it. You'll notice the Kima has more bass, but what the Kima does have, it has a lot more of that 1K region, has a little bit more extended upper air and region. The Dunu Kima 2 is more cohesive of a set, and I like it a great deal. It feels great in ear. and it has a nice solid feeling to it. I like it a lot, and I've been using it now for the last few days, and I just love it. It's just fantastic. It does a lot of things well, and its bass region feels impactful and dynamic. I think part of that's the driver, and part of it's other things, and it's just a really nice, even-kiltered, fun set. Now, we look at this versus something like the Dunu Titan S. Now, these are both, the Titan S is also from Dunu. It's also packaged well. I like the Titan S, but the fit on it wasn't very good for me. It had a lot more of this upper treble region here, and it did have more bass, but the driver, it felt like it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. It felt like more of kind of an older V-style set, and it just doesn't have this musical presentation that I absolutely loved. To me, I like the Dunu Kima a lot, but if I look at graphs, it will be a surprise to me. Another one I want to compare this to, when I listened to the Dunu Kima 2, the first IEM that I thought about was the Dunu Falcon Ultra. Now, granted, they're a lot different on the graph, but they both kind of have that nice upper mids, that nice upper air. You'll see a lot of similar trends, like, the Ultra has a lot more bass, but it kind of trades off it here with this kind of 4K region. They do kind of some different things, but I think the Kima could be in a really attractive IEM to a lot of people, and it does a lot of things really well, and it's for a lot cheaper. It's like $80 cheaper than the Falcon Ultra. One other one to compare this to is the meta-tuned IEMs of like the Kiwi Ears 4 and the Dunu Kima. This isn't necessarily a meta-tuned IEM, but it is a lot like other IEMs that we'll notice later here. It has kind of, like I said, that leaner, slightly warmer style bass, which I don't think is bad, but it has this kind of more of an open sounding. It's like you don't get the thumpiness of the bass rattling at you, and you get to hear the highs and the details of the upper presence region and the upper mid treble region a lot better. And so I think it has a tuning that's growing on me a great deal. I think, again, the Dunu Kima here, I don't think you're going to like it as much, as because it doesn't have that low-end presence that the KE4 has, but it's also a lot cheaper. It's also packaged a lot better, and it has a lot of things going on for it that might work for you. Can I really tell you that the Kiwi Ears 4 is $80 better? No, I can't. I think the Kima 2 just has a great sound signature to it, and it sounds fantastic, and I love it a great deal. Again, another one is the Kima 2 versus the Da Vinci. It's funny, I think the Kima 2 has that awesome case they use on the Glacier. They both have the same cable and same tips. I mean, I guess the Dunu Da Vinci has a different cable, and it is a very nice cable, but I think other than the cable, the packaging and accessories of the Kima 2 are debatably a little bit better. They have similar kind of style upper mids, and again, the Da Vinci does have a lot of bass, but a lot of people complained about in this tuning that when the Da Vinci hit and had its bass, it didn't really sound that great. It was a little bit odd and frustrating to some people. The Kima doesn't have that. The only thing you'll do is like, okay, where's my thunder bass? And you won't get that as much in the Kima 2. But if you're just looking for a chill set to listen to certain genres of music, the Kima 2 does that upper mid presence region just absolutely fantastically. Another one I wanted to compare this to is the Moon Rover. This is by Campfire. This is a planar, so they sound a lot different, but they have a lot of a similar tonality that I kind of wanted to show you. This is kind of something I've been listening to a lot, and I like this kind of warm style presentation because a lot of things don't sound as muddy. Do I like a lot of bass? Yeah, on certain tracks I love a lot of bass, but this style of tuning is something that is growing on me. I've reviewed 3 IEMs of late: the Moondrop Cadence, the Kima 2, the Moon Rover, that all kind of have this rolled off bass, and I'm telling you, there's something about it, about not mucking up other parts of the sound, that does a presentation very well, and it keeps this upper mid-range region very strong and impactful, and it does a great job of vocals. I like a lot of bass, and it's a lot of fun on certain tracks, but on other tracks, it's nice to have a little bit of contrast and nice to have some other styles or approaches out there. I personally think a little bit of EQ on the Dunu Kima, adding a little bit more of this bass region, just really right around this 100 region. So it's just a little bit more of this strong sub bass. But if you'll notice, this lower mid-range region is really nice. This upper mid-range region is nice. It's just every once in a while that doesn't have that oomph and slam that you might want from other IEMs. So that's just kind of something to note. The Dunu Kima 2. Let's rank this guy up. I like it a lot. I don't think it lacks in its bass, but like its mids and its highs are fantastic. I mean, you notice it's right around the same level as the Cadenza. I think the Cadenza does have a more technical approach. Like you'll hear some micro details in a better sense, but I think the mids and the bass of the Kima 2 are better. I think it's tuned better, and I think it does certain things better over the Cadenza. That's, you know what, $70 more. I think there's something to be said about that, the Dunu Kima being a more reasonable example of a quality sounding IEM for a lot cheaper. Is it the most technical? No. But what it is it has great note weight, great imaging, great soundstage, great resolution. It just feels great in hand. And it just, again, to me, like the only fault of this IEM is it lacks a tiny bit in sub bass. But it just overall has a nice, great sounding IEM, and I love it so much. It's like my new work IEM, and it's just, I love it so much. It's great for doing studio work or listening to so many different genres of music. So fantastic. You know, this is a fun, awesome sounding IEM. Am I going to recommend this to people who love bass music? No. This is not a bass head set. This is a chill set. This is like an Aria 2, but better. It's a lot like, you know, the Cadenza or the other Moondrop style tunings, but it's a really well done, effective tuning that has rich, organic, dynamic driver that's doing a lot of things that are really great. I like the sound of this IEM. I think it's fantastic. I think it looks fantastic. I think it gives a great value proposition to people that want something, you know, like that Kato style tuning. I think, you know, it's nice when a company like Dunu really takes the time and notice of packaging, and that's one of the things that Dunu does well. This is also a fantastic product that I think Dunu has knocked out of the park, and I hope they do maybe some different colors, maybe a pink, maybe a blue, maybe a bright red hue to this metallic-y hue to this IEM. I love the finish of this IEM, and I think it's fantastic. This gets a full recommendation for me, especially for people that are looking at it, and I think it's gonna be an absolute winner to many people. Fantastic IEM. One of the best bang for dollar bucks IEMs out there. Love it. Really consider it if you're in the market for an IEM like this. Thanks for watching.
You're still here. It's over. Go home. Go watch another IEM video. It's done. That's the entire video. What more do you want?